afternoon, everybody. Never thought I'd be standing in the Royal Tyler Theater by any stretch of my imagination, but to be here in front of all of you is really delightful, and thank you for being here. As we mentioned, I manage the environmental program at Ben & Jerry's, but I'm in the social mission department. I'm really proud of that place where I sit. Not many companies have a social mission department, and as many of you know, Ben & Jerry's has a three-part mission statement. Is everybody familiar with our three-part mission statement? If not, please get online and look at that, because a part of that mission statement is our commitment towards linked prosperity. Linked prosperity is core to our business. Ben and Jerry, when they developed the company, without knowing it, with all the actions they took, even starting downtown here on the corner where the old scoop shop used to be with Free Cone Day. In fact, I was up here scooping on Free Cone Day this April. Goes back to the start of the business, giving back to communities who have supported us. So that notion of linked prosperity, that is all of you, our consumers. It's the growers out there, whether it's our local growers here, like our dairy farmers, or is it our growers who are in Cote d'Ivoire? Is it our growers who are in Honduras? Is it our growers who are in the far reaches of the country and globe who don't have access to the same things that we have here as consumers? So that's our notion of linked prosperity. We go deep into our supply chain. We want to make sure that we are treating growers for us through fair trade purchases, that have equal access to health care, have safe environmental conditions, can support their families, as all of us try to do as well. We also work through our franchisees, all of those shops around the country that I hope you visit. They deserve equal access to the same things that we have as a business that's growing, our employees, and our business itself. So that notion of linked prosperity around the globe is something that's easy to talk about. But how do you get it off the ground? How do you get it working? So with us, we use the power of our brand. We're a really small company. We're a small company with a really big voice. We're a small company that's part of the 5th biggest global company in the world, Unilever. So that's a pretty remarkable food company. When we talk about food companies driving what we eat, one could look at Unilever that has like Bertolli, mayonnaise, the Hellmann's mayonnaise. The list goes on and on of what Unilever owns. But what's really remarkable is that Unilever has a goal of all of their food all of the ingredients have to be sustainably sourced by 2020. So I'm pleased to say that Ben & Jerry's is ahead of that curve. We've been ahead of that curve for a while because it's part of our DNA and who we are. So when we talk about the global economy and the way the global economy works, the global economy actually doesn't really particularly work. It really benefits those who are the wealthiest economies around the globe. When you have the state of California is wealthier than some of the countries around the globe, that's a pretty remarkable statement about where wealth is held. And when you have the vast majority of the wealth held with the fewest, that shows that there's a true imbalance in our global systems. And that concerns us. It concerns us on a global scale, and it concerns us on a local scale. So when we look at things like Citizens United, that gives corporations the same power as individuals, that's a problem. That's a huge problem for agricultural systems, it's a huge problem for global systems, and it's a huge problem for many of the issues that are important to all of us sitting in this room. So the challenge is for all of us here is how do we speak up? How do we overturn Citizens United, right? That's what we have to do. So I challenge you all to think about your opportunities to make change and to create change. When we look at technology out there, when we look at genetically modified foods, are they safe for us? Who's making those decisions? Who is on the FDA that's making decisions that we trust that are good for our health? Ask the questions, probe, be outspoken, don't be complacent. It's easy to be idealistic about what we're all trying to achieve. We love safe and local food systems. But we have to look beyond where those other foods are coming from. When we listened to NPR this morning, there's a new drug that's going to help us lose weight. It's not just about diet and exercise. Really? I mean, that's just illogical to me. It's just flat out wrong. It is about a healthy diet. It's about taking out the foods that are not good for you and incorporating foods that are good for you. Understand what they are. And don't let government and those people who are perhaps engaged in big business make decisions for us that we don't agree with. We have to be outspoken. We have to continue to be outspoken. So what are we doing at Ben & Jerry's? We're outspoken. Overturn Citizens United. Really important to us. But what are we doing locally? Well, what we're doing locally are various different programs, but one in particular is one that I'm leading called Caring Dairy, and I have a brochure on this if anybody wants one a little bit later. And that's working with our largest supplier, Vermont Dairy Farmers. With the St. Albans Co-op, we are working with them to develop indicators of sustainable agriculture, a web-based application for the dairy farmers to supply our product, to make them sustainable into the future. And I use that word sustainable very carefully. Don't use the word sustainable unless you can define it. Otherwise, it's just jargon. So we've defined it through the 11 indicators of sustainable agriculture in our Caring Dairy program. And I invite you to learn more about the program because what we're doing is looking to keep farming viable in the state of Vermont. As Secretary Ross has pointed out, it is a viable system. It will maintain its viability through diversification, through the work of a lot of people here, but the work for all of us to, again, think globally, act locally, be active, and be engaged. So with that, I will also offer you the opportunity to read our view of Big Picture, Small World that really articulates our view on a lot of these issues, as well as a brochure on our Caring Dairy. All of this is available online on our benjerry.com website. So thank you for your motivation, your enthusiasm, and accept the challenge to go forth and stir the pot and look for change. Thank you.